Hello everyone. Today I'll be explaining the different blocks of workflow and different other variables and what save and activate means. So starting off with bot says. So the bot says block basically allows you to make the bot say something at a specific step. It's just only what the bot should say and not an action or something that it should ask for. So this is something that it would just say. For the bot ask section, you could use it when you want the bot to ask or gather certain information and save it into a certain variable. So this is basically for data gathering. The third block, which is the branch block, is basically used when you want to make decisions within the workflow. You want the workflow to split into different directions based on whatever the certain answer, decision, or information might be. Then you have the do block, which basically allows you to perform certain actions, which could be schedule emails, send SMS, schedule calls, whatever the list of actions are available. You can do them via the do node. And then you have the end block, which you use when you want to end the workflow at a certain step. So this would allow the bot to exit the workflow when it reaches that certain step. So these are the block sections of it. So I'll just explain you what the save and activate thing means. So the save part is basically this allows you to save a certain workflow into your list, and you can basically click one of these, and this would allow you to save the workflow in there. If I go back, I should see the new workflow. So what happens is now is that this workflow is safe, but it's still not connected to a certain bot. In order to be connected to a certain bot, it needs to be activated. And to activate one, you'll have to deactivate another one. As you can see, I'll have to deactivate that and activate this. Only then I can activate this certain flow. And each bot can only have a single workflow activated within it. So that's the difference between activate and save. And let's say if you're trying to edit something over here, let's say I added a pod say section and I want to save it, I'd have to deactivate first and then save this. Reason being because we have to check for integrity of the workflow. And for that reason, you have to deactivate and activate before you can basically allow the bot to use this certain flow. Now, coming up to the certain sections, I'll basically show you another one of the things, which is certain variables that you might find. So let's say if I have a certain ask section where I ask what is your name, and then I ask, I save it as a full name variable in here, okay? And later on, let's say within the system I want to access that same variables. So you'll basically see a certain list of variables that shall be present over here. Same goes for action things. Let's say if you captured a certain lead and you want to access the lead ID later on. So as you go down the workflow, you'll have certain variables accessible for you. Some of them would be the ones that you've already collected. Some of them would be the ones that you've basically gotten through your actions. And if you want to access them, you can basically access them by just clicking on these certain variable names, and this would allow you to basically use them within your certain steps later on. So this is going to there's you're going to have a number of them when you're working with certain ask nodes, lead nodes, I mean action nodes. And if you want to use them later on, you can just click on these, and this would allow you to access the information that's been captured in these certain nodes later on as well. So yeah, that is that, and thank you.